comics. My comics, my comics, my comics. My comics, my comics.
Let's dive into another underrated Marvel superhero, Meet Rage, aka Evan Holiday, a Marvel powerhouse with a tragic origin and a ton of rage-fueled strength. When Evan was 13 years old, he hid from bullies in a chemical dump. Yeah, it's probably a bad idea. However, that exposure transformed him into a hulking hero who looked older than his age. Guided by his grandmother's wisdom, he took on the name Rage and made a memorable first appearance in Avengers issue number 326 back in 1990. This guy's strength goes off the chart whenever he gets angry or during intense battles. Sounds familiar, right? Giving him a power boost with every punch he throws. Despite a rocky relationship with the Avengers, he found his place amongst the new warriors, tackling new enemies with pure, unfiltered rage. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this guy. A rated character who is known as Train Walker, aka Zero. First appeared in Zero #1 in May 1997. Train was a professional basketball player who led a secret double life as a high-tech closer, as an agent tasked with eliminating loose ends for shadowy government agencies. To keep his identity hidden, Train disguised himself as a blonde white man under the alias Zero. His abilities include phasing through solid objects and seeing through walls, giving him a lethal edge in his espionage missions. However, the deeper he delves into his role, the more he develops a conscience, questioning the morality of his missions.
Welcome back. Now let's talk about another underrated character you probably forgot about. Her name is Abyss from Earth 616 and is probably the weirdest comic book character you've never heard of. First debuting in Avengers #1, Abyss is literally made of gas. Yup, she's that person who could win hide and seek every time. Her gaseous form makes her invulnerable to most physical attacks, so good luck trying to land a punch. But don't get too close, y'all, because she can manipulate minds by enveloping her victims in her gaseous form. She and her brother Ex Nihilo were created by and left to terraform Mars and cause a little chaos on Earth. Eventually, they even teamed up with the Avengers to battle the Builders. Talk about a glow up.
Oh, another underrated superhero is Virtue, defender of justice. Hailing from DC Comics, he first debuted in a comic book called The Movement in July 2013. Virtue is all about that social justice life. She's not just a superhero, she's leading a revolution against corrupt cops and standing up for those who don't have a voice. Virtue's powers allow her to manipulate emotions, making her a superhero with both physical and mental strength. She is also driven by the death of her father, making her story deeply personal and relatable. She's a social justice warrior with superpowers. Count me in. Virtue is out here fighting for justice, not just for herself, but also for her entire community. She got heart, and she know how to use it. What are some of your underrated superheroes? You know who else is underrated? Hardware from the Dakota Verse, the high-tech hero from DC Comics. Curtis, a child prodigy who worked under Edwin Alva, a billionaire who admired his mind but exploited his talents. Once Curtis discovered Alva's deceit, he created a high-powered hardware suit to bring justice in his own way. His debut? That was in Hardware issue #1 back in 1993. Hardware's suit is loaded with an arsenal of adaptable weapons, including plasma cannons and energy blades. His armor provides superhuman strength, flight, and an advanced AI that supports Curtis in battle. Plus, Curtis continuously upgrades his tech, making him a true one-man army with an unbreakable will to take down the corrupt. And you know who is underrated? Maggott, a truly unique character in the Marvel Comics universe. He made his first appearance in the Uncanny X-Men issue number 345 in June 1997. Born in South Africa, he suffered from a severe stomach pains throughout his childhood. This cause was later revealed to be two sentient slugs named Eenie and Meanie that served as his digestive system. Man, that's a deep storyline right there. These slugs could consume any material, and upon re-entering his body, they would transfer the absorbed energy to Maggott. granting him enhanced strength and stamina. Maggott's journey led him to the X-Men, where he sought to understand his powers and find his place amongst the mutants. His distinctive abilities and backstory set him apart, making him one of the more unconventional members of the X-Men roster. Do you agree that he is underrated or not?
It's underrated superhero time. Well, anti hero time. Meet Edward Morgan Eddie Blake, known as the Comedian. He's a complex character from DC Comics' Watchmen series. He first appeared in the 1986 graphic novel Watchmen, created by writer Alan Moore and artist Dave Gibbons. Blake began his vigilante career in the 1940s as a teenager, joining the original Minutemen team. Over the decades, he evolved into a government-sanctioned operative, embodying a cynical and brutal approach to justice. The comedian doesn't possess superhuman abilities. Instead, he relies on his exceptional hand-to-hand combat skills, proficiency with various firearms, and a high tolerance for pain. His character serves as a dark reflection of the superhero archetype, highlighting the moral ambiguities and complexities within the Watchmen universe.
You know who else is underrated? Tangent Superman, Harvey Dent. There have been a lot of takes on the Man of Steel, but this one right here takes the cake. In the 1990s, DC Comics introduced a unique take on Superman through their Tangent comic imprints. This version reimagines Harvey Dent not as Gotham's infamous Two-Face, but as the world's most powerful superhero. Debuting in Tangent Comics, the Superman issue number 1, 1998. This Harvey Dent is New York's detective who, after a life-threatening fall, discovers his latent superhuman abilities. His powers include advanced telekinesis and telepathy, allowing him to manipulate objects and mind with ease. Unlike the traditional Superman, this Superman's journey is marked by a descent into authoritism, as he believes that only through his control can he achieve world peace. This narrative explores the themes of power, control, and the fine line between heroism and tyranny. Tyranny! Tyranny! Hey, tyranny! Well, for this storyline, I'll let y'all decide if this character is underrated or not. In the late 1970s, DC Comics aimed to introduce their first black superhero with the creation of the Brown Bomber. This character was a white racist who, under stress, transformed into a black superhero, a concept stemming from a chemical camouflage experiments during his military service in Vietnam. The transformation was involuntary, and the character remained unaware of his dual identity. Go figure. In some storylines, the Brown Bomber saved individuals without realizing they were black, only to express his disgust upon discovering their race. This portrayal was widely criticized for its offensive and insensitive nature. Tony Isabella, the creator of Black Lightning, persuaded DC to abandon the Brown Bomber concept, arguing it was inappropriate for the first black superhero to be a white bigot. Isabella's intervention led to the creation of Black Lightning, a character with a more respectful and empowering representation. However, I'm interested to know what y'all thoughts are on this character. Let me know in the comments. Let's discuss it. We can go live. You know who else is underrated, underwritten, and underestimated? Meet Maxam, a lesser known character in the Marvel Universe. He made his first appearance in Warlock and the Infinity Watch, issue number 12 in 1993. He hails from a dystopian future where Magnus, Adam Warlock's alter ego, has conquered the universe. To prevent this grim fate, Maxam is sent back in time to eliminate Warlock. Sounds familiar, right? Before he could become the Magnus. However, before he got back, he developed amnesia from time traveling, leaving him unaware of his mission. He is physically imposing. Maximum possesses the ability to augment his body mass, granting him superhuman strength and durability. His power levels are OPAF, allowing him to match strength with heavyweights like Drax the Destroyer and Hercules. And if you don't know, Drax in the comic books is a Thanos destroyer. Additionally, Maxim's mind is highly resistant to telepathic probes and psychic attacks, which means Moondragon couldn't do anything to him. He is a challenging adversary for anybody to come across. One of Maxim's strengths is, as a character, is his complex backstory, which adds depth to the Marvel narrative by exploring the themes of time travel and the consequences of altering timelines. Sound familiar? However, his limited appearances and undeveloped character arc have left him relatively obscure, preventing him from resonating with a broader audience. Marvel, write this boy in some other stuff, man.
My comics, my comics, my comics, my comics, my comics.